What's going on YouTube? This is Micro Mike. I decided to go a little bit early because Dose of Dion is here, man, and we're ready to talk Lions. What's going on, Dose?
Not much, Mike. What's going on, man?
Oh, just living the dream here, man. Just living the dream. I hear myself talking in the background.
Of mine? You can hear it on mine?
Yeah, I'm hearing me on your account quick.
Okay, I think it's kind of loud. I can turn it down.
Yeah. All right, man. So I still hear me.
All right, let me try something real quick.
Okay, here we go, man. I think it's good now. So we were having a little bit of technical issues. No big deal, folks. I got Dose of Dion here, and I still hear myself again.
Yes. Okay, let me try to. It's Mike's first time using a mic, honestly. I can go to a different method if I have to.
What's another method that you can do?
I'll have to rejoin, but I can join using, without the headset. Usually it works.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Before
is it be the same account that I'm going to send it to you?
Yeah, same thing.
Okay.
I'll do it real quick.
All right, fellas. So I'm going to go ahead and send Dose of Dion another invite, and we'll get that thing straightened out. He was having issues with his microphone, and all right, I think we are good to go. Let me send this invite really quick, and we will get this straightened out. Okay. We are talking Detroit Lions here. I just sent the invite out again for Dose of Dion, and we will get this bad boy cracking. Good to go without no issues with the microphone. And so that's what it's all about. What's going on, man? Are you everything good to go now?
Yeah, does it sound good on your end?
Yeah, it sounds perfect now. It sounds perfect. All so, right. Folks, if you don't know what happened to Dose of Dion, I don't know, say maybe a month or two ago, is his account got hacked. And unfortunately, he lost his account and he had to create a new one. It's called DoseOfDion2.0. If you have subscribed to Dose of Dion before his account got hacked and you are not now, make sure you do so, please. This guy has spent a long time getting all these subscribers and building a fan base and talk about the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, man, but you guys have been awesome trying to help me get back. I just warn anybody out there, if you guys ever receive an email that's asking for any kind of passwords or anything like that, just don't respond to it, or at least do your research before you do, because it happens to a lot of people and it stinks, honestly.
Absolutely. Hello. What's going on, General G. Berry? What's going on, Melissa? Thanks for joining the chat. What's going on, James Willis, General G. Berry, Melvin Druth, the Gridiron Blitz? Man, I'm super excited because today is Subscriber Friday, and I got the great Dose of Dion here with me. So today, I explained to him, you guys run the show. You ask any question you want regarding the Detroit Lions and or a personal question when it comes to us. So, she is subscribing to you right now. Absolutely awesome. Dose has got some great content. If you've not subscribed to his channel, he does a lot of Detroit Lions breaking news. It seems like you drop like 3-4 videos a day. How do you do it, man?
Man, I don't know, man. I honestly, like, I get bored when I don't upload. Like, I don't know. It's just like I see news. I'm like, man, I gotta tell him. I went a couple days before without uploading where I had pre-recorded. And I was like, dang, this is so boring. So anytime I have the chance, I just like to upload.
Oh, absolutely, man. And I'm telling you, I've never seen someone throw out so much videos like you ever. I'm like, you're killing the game right now. And it's really awesome to see a young man like yourself do this. So let's just jump into the Detroit Lions, man. What is an individual rookie that you're looking forward to in training camp?
Ooh, in training camp. I really want to see what they move around with, how they utilize Jelani Tavai. I think, he has a lot of opportunities to play different ways at the linebacker position. And I think, a lot of people weren't exactly excited about that pick. So I'd love to see him maybe, prove some people wrong and just, get his name really out there through training camp.
Absolutely, man. And again, it reminds me of when we got Kenny Galladay. We drafted him, I believe, in the third round, and everyone said, "Oh, we don't know who this guy is. He's a
Mm-hmm.
terrible pick." He ended up being a really big stud for us. I think Tavai has that potential as well. He's a big guy at 6'2". He can stop the tight ends, in my opinion. And sky's the limit. If he can work out, just imagine him and Davis
Oh,
side
man.
by side.
Oh yeah, he's got all the attributes to be great. Same thing with Kenny Galladay with the big size that he had. We knew he had the potential, so hopefully he can put it all together. And he's got a lot of guys to help him.
Absolutely. Bill Collier says Dion keeps it going. Love his videos. Devin says, "What's good?" Hey, man, a lot of people really like what you're doing, and it's really inspiring to see a young man like yourself do this and talk Lions football. And you have so much information and such good quality content that it's inspiring. It's inspiring. And what's so good about you is you're a young guy. See, I've been a fan for a long time, and there's been a lot of years of watching Lions football, and it was terrible. You get a lot of losing seasons. Now, you as a young guy, man, I think sky's the limit. You're going to see a lot of winning this year.
I hope so, man. I'm trying to bring that positivity with me.
Now, Devin99 says Kenny Galladay is going to be a Pro Bowler this year. I agree. I think Kenny Galladay can definitely be a Pro Bowler, definitely be a number one for us, and really light up the NFL this year. What do you think about that?
Oh, that easily. Yeah, he's definitely going to take over as our number one wide receiver next season, in my opinion. But like what we saw last season, like he can do so much more than that too. He's a really good wide receiver. We found a really good player there, and I'm excited to see what he can do because he's so young. He's got a lot of years where he can just keep getting better and better in this league.
And you know what's really going to help him out, in my opinion, is having TJ Hawkinson in there as a tight end. See, now that is going to just open him up more because there's so much weapons on offense that now Kenny Galladay is going to get a lot of one-on-one matchups. He'll get that separation. Of course, Matthew Stafford will get that ball to him.
Right. TJ Hawkinson does a lot for us. I mean, and it's not even always in the passing game, in the running game too. That honestly, I was kind of skeptical about that pick when they made it, but like now, yeah, that was a really nice pick. I'm happy we made that move to bring in Hawkinson.
Absolutely, man. I've been talking about TJ for a while. I just feel he fit us perfect. He was a blue chipper tight end. I feel that he can push the pile when he needs to block for the run game. It's going to help Kerryon Johnson out. We'll now get more one-on-one matchups with our weapons for Matthew Stafford. And I believe that TJ Hawkinson could be a Pro Bowler this year as a rookie for a tight end. And man, I just think Matthew Stafford's going to feed him the ball.
I think Stafford's gonna love him. I think he's a different type of tight end than I think Stafford's really ever had. Like we had Ebron, but he was a different type of player. Hawkinson's just one of those reliable guys, and to have a reliable tight end as a quarterback, that's just something that they love to have. It'll be nice for Stafford for sure.
Oh man, yeah, I can't wait to see. Even for training camp, I just want to see how he feeds him the ball, how this offense works when Daryl Bevel. Folks, this is Subscriber Friday. You guys run the show, so you throw us questions. We read it right off the chat. We'll answer it. Whatever you want to talk about, we will do. Until then, we're just going to keep talking about Lions football and Daryl Bevel. Daryl Bevel, we know what he did with Seattle. He really utilized those tight ends with such magic that the offense explodes. And now I see when we got Jesse James and we got TJ Hawkinson and even Nada that he has got to be foaming at the mouth with these tight ends.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's one guy that I'm super excited is Jesse James. His size, like Jesse James can do a lot of things, especially with TJ Hawkinson taking some of that pressure off. This is the perfect coach for what we're trying to do offensively. Like Daryl Bevel just fits so well with what we're trying to do.
Absolutely. And you got to think we had KFC, a really bad offensive coordinator last year, and now we have in my opinion, a very good one.
Oh yeah.
Individual that's been into the playoffs. He's won Super Bowls with all these weapons. What do you think this offense could do this year? Do you think it can be a top five offense even?
I don't know if this offense, like scoring wise, will be I don't know if they'll be top 5 scoring, but this is an offense that I think can like have high time of possession compared to the rest of the league. Like they're going to keep it out of the other team's hands a lot, especially versus teams like, when we play the Chiefs and the Chargers, teams that score a lot. I mean, it'll be very useful to just keep the ball out of those teams' hands because they're going to put up 40 if you give them the chance to. So it'll help out our defense as well.
Oh man, it too. If you give your defense rest, like this offense can do sustained, nice long sustained drives. Give the defense rest. The more rest they get, the more interceptions they can get, the more big time plays they can get, and no more Matthew Stafford comebacks. We just go ahead and run the football in the fourth quarter and call it a game.
Right, right. I'm excited to see how Stafford plays with this because he's really never had an offense like this is a lot different than what we've seen from Stafford. It's usually just air it out. Now it's an offense that's kind of revolved around the running game, and he can kind of just sit back and like, okay, you guys do your thing. I'll come in to pass it just to mix it up a little bit.
Bill says, with the tight end and Galladay, watch for Amendola over the middle. We're going to tear it up this year. I agree with him. I think with Amendola in the middle, he can be utilized somewhat that Golden Tate was used. However, there's so much more weapons around that he's going to make a lot of big plays, 3rd and 4, and make the drives be sustained. And sky is the limit this year with Amendola.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And I think of Amendola kind of as a security blanket as a wide receiver because he's done it for a lot of teams, and he's not a tight end, but he's that guy that will get you the 5 yards when you need it most.
Oh, absolutely. And man, I think that's what killed us last year specifically. I remember when we got Anquan Bolden and how much of an impact he made. I think he could be an Anquan Bolden replica almost.
Oh yeah, and Anquan Bolden was so awesome, and he's had so many good moments just because he was just such a reliable target that you pretty much knew when he threw there. Okay, this is going to be a completion. He wasn't the most exciting, but he was very he's very reliable.
Melvin Drew says, what are your thoughts on Matt Patricia coming to his second year with his defense and knowing the North that is much he has to deal with? So when I think of Patricia in his second year on this team as a head coach, I think he's going to go from having a bad year last year to having such a great year this year. And the reason I believe this is we did a lot of player turnover this offseason. We got players that match Patricia's scheme and the way he wants to train. We got Trey Flowers, who comes from the Patriots. They know how to win in the playoffs. They know the extra work that it takes. Again, we got Coleman, who played under the Matt Patricia scheme. He's a very hard worker, understands how to win in the playoffs, etc. And I think this team will be coached up the way that Matt Patricia wants. No one's going to whine about playing in the cold. They're simply going to work hard and have fun and win. What do you think? Do you think Patricia's going to take a big leap this year?
I see a really big leap, and I kind of think of it as like a 2 steps back last season to really take 3 steps forward. Like he was kind of trying to, build his new, I guess, say empire as a team. And it's a lot different now as a team, but he's finally got like his guys. The Patriots. It's important to be familiar with your players and guys that are really going to buy in, and that's what I think is going to really help him a lot.
Absolutely. What up, Dr. Dirks? Victory formation, James Willis. Absolute. That's my favorite formation of any Lions game, man. There's nothing like seeing Matthew Stafford just take a knee, and not because he got hurt. It's because we won the game, man. Absolutely the best. What up, Dose? Silent Fire. JGB, obviously, he agrees, man. He thinks that Matt Patricia is going to have a great year. Sky is the limit. Great minds think alike. Yes, this offense for the first time in Stafford's career was completely layered offense. Last time he had what was in college. So year 2 under Bevel can be scary. I agree with him. I think this offense is going to be scary good. Not in the scary good as we seen in 2011 where he was doing 5,000 yards, but even better. He's going to not have to do comebacks. He's just going to, in the fourth quarter, we already won it. We're going to run the football.
Yeah, it's going to be so awesome to see that change of pace. Like, we don't need to score 35 points to win games. It's going to be nice just to like win the game where our offense just basically keeps running down their throat. We have 200 rushing yards as a team. That's going to be nice to see.
Absolutely, man. And folks, if you weren't here initially, I got DoseOfDion2.0. If you have not subscribed to his channel, do so. He is a young man that drops videos like I've never seen. He knows his football, folks. He knows his football. Let's see. Matthew Huntley, what up, though? He says, why is everyone giving up on Agnew going into his 3rd year but willing to give Tabor a shot? Agnew was a good corner coming out of college. No, I don't think no one's given up on Agnew when it comes to being on defense. I just think he's so spectacular on offense and special teams that we can utilize him there more. I think.
Yeah.
Talk about Agnew, man.
Oh, Agnew has an opportunity. Agnew could do so many different things with his skill set. Him in special teams is so dangerous, but the way you see, I mean, some teams like use players in college where they run some trick plays. Like that's what Agnew can be used for. I think we've seen a little bit of it before, but it's going to be nice to see that. I mean, you kind of forget about, oh, he's a cornerback because he does so many other things so well.
Absolutely. And now think of this in special teams. Ty Johnson, Jamal Agnew. Good Lord, watch out because these guys can run.
Wow. Yeah. We got to bring that what was it, the Titans where they had the kickoff and he threw it backwards to the other kick returner. We got to bring that out one time this year.
Oh man, that would be so awesome. You know what I'm really looking forward to is if they do on offense, they have Jamal Agnew and Ty Johnson back there, and they decide to do like a screen pass. Who do you give it to, and how do you stop that?
That would be crazy. That's so much speed on the field at one time.
Noble Sports, part of the DSA.
Crazy. That would be crazy.
We need to beat teams that people don't think we can beat. And that brings me to a question. We just found out that the Kansas City Chiefs hot wide receiver is not going to be suspended this year, and we play them fairly early on in the year. And I believe that's going to be a big-time statement game. Kansas City comes to our house, and I think we beat them, and no one is going to give us any chance of beating them. I think we can beat Patrick Mahomes. I think the fans will go crazy at Ford Field, and it will be a statement game to the NFL. What do you think about a statement game this year and a team that we possibly could beat that no one is expecting?
Yeah, I think the Chiefs is perfect. That place is going to be rocking. And it kind of reminds me a little bit last season. You know, we came with our first win against the Patriots, and now no one was really expecting that. And it kind of puts you on the map. It's like, wow, you just beat that good of a team. And I think the Chiefs even more because the Chiefs are such an explosive team. I would love to see our defenses kind of like shut them down. And it's like, wow, they're just shutting down the Chiefs who score like 30 points a game.
Absolutely, man. And I tell you what, obviously we all know that the Detroit media, they don't give us a lot of hype. They're fairly negative. And I watched a video of yours today, and it really got me hyped. You know the video that I'm talking about. We're talking about Max, man. And I love the passion that you did. Let's talk about this really quick. What do you think about what they said about our quarterback, man?
Look, man, maybe I go too far sometimes, but I've always defended Stafford. Now, it's kind of biased for me because that's really the only quarterback I can remember, but I just feel like he doesn't get that respect. Like people just want to simply throw out wins and losses, and it's like, but you're not digging into anything there. Why is there no wins? You can't just put it all on one player. It's just you don't even do that in basketball, and there's only 5 players. So for Matthew Stafford just to take the blame directly, like, oh, we're not winning games, it's Stafford's fault. You know, we don't really take a look at defensively we struggled. Rushing the ball, we struggled. Like he needs help, and all teams need help. It's been obvious. You know, you see guys like Aaron Rodgers when he doesn't have help, they struggle. There's a reason we've been beating them because they haven't had help recently. So it's true with every team.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, I'm with you, man. Look, I'm 34 years old. I've seen a lot of quarterbacks under center for Detroit. I've seen John Kitna, McCown. I've seen Culpepper. I've seen Jeff Garcia, Joey Harrington. Folks, Matthew Stafford is the best quarterback that these eyes have ever seen in Detroit. We gotta give the man some love, man. And I mean, he played with a broken back last year.
Man.
Think about that.
Go ahead. I was gonna say that's what I like about Stafford so much. Like you just don't hear him complain. I mean, they're not even leaking this stuff, but there's been so many times. Like you can go back to his early years against the Browns when he was playing hurt. Like after taking that big hit, he just came out there and threw a touchdown. We don't give enough respect for how hard he plays.
Absolutely. The dude literally is the real Iron Man. Tony Stark really needs to move over because Matthew Stafford literally is Iron Man. Like, the guy is a beast. I've hurt my back many times, and I cannot imagine doing anything sitting in a computer chair typing with a broken back, more or less taking hits by an NFL linebacker or defensive end. Holy smokes.
Right. That's crazy.
Put some respect on his name, folks. And I love the passion, man. And you went after it. That's absolutely what I like seeing. And it's legit good. We as YouTubers, man, we see the destruction that these media does to our quarterback. We kind of got to defend that. What's good? What's going on, Detroit? Drew in the house, the DSA. What up, those Silent Fire 88? What up, though? Comeback sack. He says, "How you think the midget rookie quarterback will go week 1?" The midget. Oh, he's talking about Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Oh man, you really hurt his feelings, man. I I think look, I think that we're going to definitely win week 1 against the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals, and we're not just talking about the quarterback, but they have a lack of talent all over the board. There is a reason why they were the first pick this year, folks. And I think we're going to hurt them. We're going to hurt them pretty bad. I think we win by 20 points or so.
I definitely hope so. I kind of want to get last year's taste out of my mouth from that Jets game. Like, I was so excited right off the bat. The pick six. It's like, dang, this is going to be a good year. And just, yeah, it went bad after that. But I think the Cardinals going to be a different story for sure.
Absolutely, man. I think, again, our defense, I think, is really going to be a lot better than what people give us credit for. I think we definitely going to be a top 10 defense. And with the offense sustaining drives, it's just going to help them out that much more. And Kyler Murray, welcome to the NFL moment. I think you're going to get sacked a couple times. And Deshaun Hand, man, he's licking his chops because the guy is a beast and he's fast. And Kyler, you're going down, man. I'm sorry. You're going down.
Yeah.
Let's see. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I see maybe a score early because but I feel like just once like Matt Patricia comes on, okay, this is what they're gonna be running. This is what Kyler Murray's gonna do. He'll shut it down basically.
Oh, absolutely. Lone Wolf, what up, though? He says Lions 24, Cards 13. That's probable. That seems like a logical amount of points. Silent Fire says Kay Adams of Good Morning Football looks like a little intimidated by the Lions this year. You can see it in all their faces on the show, man. I think a lot of people really do think the Lions are going to do well, but their narrative is always hate on the Lions and clickbait. I think the Lions are going to they're going to win the NFC North this year. I think they have a chance to make a big run, and I think a lot of people are going to be intimidated by what comes out this year.
Yeah, no, they're going to be scary. I mean, defensively, I'm just excited to see that defense. That's really what I want to see. I think this is going to be a scary defense, kind of back to when the Seahawks had that great defense, and it's gonna carry them a long way. You go back to last time they had a good defense, 2014. They were really good that year. I mean, I remember at one point they were like talking NFC like championship previews during the season because they were just that good. Unfortunate how the season ended, but I think it could be very similar this year.
Absolutely, man. I think I'm going with the record of 11 wins this year. I know a lot of people got 12-4, and of course Dr. Dirks here says 13-3. I think they could. I think they win the NFC North this year, and they for sure win their first playoff game in many years. And it's going to be a sight to behold because we as Lions fans, we've been dealing with losing for so long, this culture, and finally all the narrative that's been hitting on us is going to finally end in some respects. Obviously, the media will still hate on us no matter what.
Right. Yeah, they will. They'll find a way.
Melvin Drew says, I keep reading that Theo is our best pass protector running back, and I got to thinking that it's a big factor. I still don't believe Theo Riddick is going to be on the team. I think his contract is the 9th highest in the Lions right now. I think we got too much talent in the running back position, and I don't really see anything that he brings to the table compared to what we got when it comes to CJ Anderson, obviously our best Kerryon Johnson, Zach Zenner, and even Ty Johnson. Do you think that Theo makes the team, or do you think he's going to get cut or traded?
I don't think Theo makes the team just because of how much depth we have. I think, them drafting Ty Johnson was kind of just like telling us what was going to go down, because I feel like if they were like confident in Theo Riddick him being here, they wouldn't have drafted Ty Johnson that late because there would have been no need to. But he brings very similar play. But if we're going to get rid of him, I would like to trade him rather than just release him.
Absolutely. And if we could get anything out of him, again, for what he brings, his contract is, I think he adds about around $4 million to a cap. So I think it is tradable. I don't think we'll get the best picks that you would assume we would get out of it just because of his age and just depending where he goes. Hopefully we can just get something, though, maybe like a 6th round pick for Theo Riddick, anything that will help, and we get that money off the books and give that roster spot to a Ty Johnson, who I believe man, he could be really explosive and bring the offense to a dimension that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, Ty Johnson has what theoretic. It seems like Ty Johnson can do what theoretic can do and more. As long we just gotta hope though, because he is a rookie, so you don't want to put too much on him. But at the same time, he's got a lot of good running backs around him to take a lot of pressure off. So I
Yep.
think in the future, he's gonna be really good.
Absolutely. Dr. Dirt says a 6th-round pick, kind of concurs with me. Flight what up, do. This year's draft was awesome, he says. Absolutely, it was definitely awesome. My favorite draft pick, there's two individuals that were my favorite draft picks, and I'm doing it by position of where we got them. Getting Namani in the 5th round, the cornerback, unbelievable in
Oh
my
man,
opinion. We got a 2nd-round cornerback in the 5th round, and to me was a steal. And getting Bo Benshaw from Wisconsin, the guard, as a rookie free agent was just insane, and it really adds to what Bob Quinn did as draft picks. What do you think? What was your favorite draft picks, and what do you think about Bob Quinn's drafting?
I think Austin Bryant was maybe my favorite draft pick. What this guy was doing, like while he was injured, didn't necessarily had a lot of good players around him, so he didn't always have the most playing time, but he still put up big numbers. And like you said, I think Bo was awesome as an undrafted free agent. Like I don't know how that guy didn't get picked. I was thinking like the whole time this guy's gonna get drafted at some point, and then he never did. And us bringing him in was awesome.
We were doing a live stream, the DSA, and every time the Lions pick, I'm like, okay, it's Bo Benshaw. It's Bo Benshaw. In the 7th round, and I'm like, oh man, how are we not getting Bo Benshaw?
Right.
And then I get emails from all the DSA members, yo, Mike, we got Bo Benshaw. I was like, are you kidding me? Because this is the one guy that I really wanted. The guy could really help our guard position. He did well at Wisconsin, and man, we all know those offensive guards from Wisconsin, the tackles. They're some corn-fed fools that really could push the pile.
Oh man, Wisconsin puts out some really good offensive linemen. It was a really good move to bring him in. I was so confused when we didn't draft one. I was like, what are we doing? And then we brought him in as an undrafted free agent. It's like that is such a good move.
Such a good move. What up, Doe Kool-Aid and Cornbread? I've been waiting for them to trade him to the Pats. I think it would be good for us and for Theo. Yeah, I think that would be a good position for him, too. I think the Pats could use him, especially with Tom Brady. He's good at throwing the ball to a running back and letting them do their things. And I have no hatred for Theo Riddick at all. I mean, I wish him absolutely the best. I think going to the Patriots, too, will give him a chance to at least understand what the playoffs and winning is, and instead of going to a team like the Arizona Cardinals or the Miami Dolphins, at least he has a chance to win.
I absolutely agree. Theo Riddick is one of my favorite players on the team. He's been one of my favorite players. He's just he's so like elusive out of the backfield when he would catch the ball, and he was very reliable. So I hope if he goes somewhere, he can definitely enjoy some success.
Chris, what up, though? He says, y'all need to go back and watch Stafford when he backed by rushing and play action. Going this dude was Favre cutthroat. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. When we had a running game, Stafford do play action. They would bite, and he would just bomb that ball like no other. And this year, he could do it too. A lot of Darrell Bevel's offense is play action, a lot of running mixed in. And man, it's gonna be so much fun to watch. I always tell all my listeners, fellas, take the time, watch every game play by play, because this is going to be a magical year, and enjoy it and take it in. Do you think that he's going to get a lot of play action, do a lot of bombs this year that we've seen in years past from Stafford?
Oh, I definitely think he will. Stafford's really good at the play action. Marvin Jones is really good at catching those long balls. Like he doesn't necessarily get tons of separation, but he just finds a way to come down with it. And then obviously Kenny Galladay is just a beast out there. It's gonna be fun.
What up, Doe Nomis? Welcome to the chat. Azigbo was another good one, but Higdon, Scott both suck. Again, I think Ozigbo, the running back, was he picked up in free agent rookie? If so, that is an individual to look at when teams decide to cut down to the 53. I could see the Lions adding a running back like an Ozigbo to the practice squad when teams start to cut down. I think that'd be a good idea to go ahead and get another running back in there, throw him on the practice squad just in case if an injury does occur throughout the season. You have someone to back up. Is there a running back, a rookie, or someone else that you potentially could see the Lions decide to go after, potentially for a practice squad or, maybe future contract if an injury takes place?
I think, like you said, Ozigbo is a nice running back. You can find a lot of really good running backs out of the Big Ten The only thing that sometimes worries me is when you go to teams like Michigan, who seem to just pound the ball all the time. It's kind of like, all right, that kind of, I don't know if it's true or not, but some people say that wears them out. Some people would say that with Alabama running back. So I don't know if that's true, but I could definitely see bringing in some kind of running back to add to the practice squad.
What up, Dose Silent Fire 88? He says, do you guys think that Nick Bottom will be starting fullback this year? And the reason I'm going to say no is because he's still dealing with the injury. I think that's the issue. He's still dealing with it. It all depends on that injury. If he can finally work through it, I think he has a chance to at least attempt to make the roster, if not the practice squad. But if the injury continues to bother him, man, I'm not going to waste a roster spot on him. What do you think about the fullback that we drafted last year?
Yeah, I mean, he seems like a solid fullback. Again, he just has to be healthy. I mean, we got options, though. We have a lot of options. And I think that's what's nice. I mean, that's why I want to keep guys like Joe Dahl around because, that those guys that are versatile like that, it's really nice. We have tons of options there. And I think we can move guys around. It looks like someone said, I mean, you potentially could put a tight end out there. I mean, you have a lot of guys that can move around.
What up, Doe George Morgan? If you want to see our offense, go watch Brett Favre years in Minnesota. That was a sick offense when they went to the NFC Championship game. That was scary, man. And if we could replicate that type of offense, this team sky's the limit because the defense matches that up. Watch out, watch out. What up, Doe Luke G's Field Review? He says Ozigbo on the Vikings. Yep, it just depends if he stays on there. Nomus J says, Dose, what up, Doe?
What's up, man?
Hey, there's a lot of fans that you got around here, especially when it comes to the Detroit Sports Alliance. A lot of subscribers. We have the same subscribers, man, and they all appreciate the work that you put in and help defeat the narrative that is in Detroit right now. Just think, one of our tight ends at fullback. This is interesting. Now, we heard in OTAs that they did 3 tight end formations. Wouldn't it be ridiculous if they decided to put like TJ Hawkinson as a fullback and do a run like that? Could you see something like that occur?
I could definitely see that because you can have fullbacks go out for passes out of that, especially on a play action. And he's also like a monster at blocking. So that he would fit right in there. I don't think it'd even be something he has to really work on.
Absolutely. Man, he's just so multi-dimensional. I don't know if you've ever played a game called Mortal Kombat. One of my favorite players on there is TJ Combo. And so that's what my nickname for him is, TJ Combo, because he can do it all, man. He can do it all. Let's see. George is right, except we're more solid at tight end and deeper at back. Absolutely, man. We took a weakness last year at the tight end position. We made that a strength, and we are really solid at the running back position. I think CJ Anderson is a great compliment to Kerryon Johnson, and we can't sleep on Zach Zetter because he always gains yards. What do you think about our running back depth? Do you think it's really solid and this team really could lead by running?
This team's the running back depth is really good. I mean, this could be a run first type of team, and it doesn't seem like anybody's going to get overused. Like, they don't want to overuse Kerryon, and they don't have to. Bring in CJ Anderson, he could take some of the workload. Ty Johnson, I mean, if he gets tries there, and Zach Zenner, like you said, always gets yards. He's just a reliable guy. I mean, he'll run forward, he'll get you 4 yards when you need it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and that's what you need. I think that's something that we need this year. That's what we thought LeGarrette Blount was going to be last year, but I don't know what happened to him. He decided to try to be like a Theo Riddick and try to do some crazy moves, but that's not what he's known for. He's known running forward.
That dude was out in the backfield making trying to do some jukes or something. I was like, man, you're not that fast. You got to go.
Yeah, man, like you're not known for juking. You're not a fast guy, man. You just got to go forward. That's all we need you for, man. That's all we need you for. Chris Crashball says play action going to open up. Flats are going to be clear, and watch out for them 25-yard seam plays. Oh, I can't wait. In 2011, what I really liked about what they utilized Matthew Stafford is we got a lot of touchdowns in the red zone, and as well as we'd be at the 35-yard line, and that's where they decide to let Matthew Stafford just sling that ball to the end zone and get a lot of touchdowns. When we went to KFC, that really stopped. I think this year they can open that back up because we have big guys like TJ Hawkinson and Kenny Galladay, Marvin Jones, and Jesse James, and we're going to see a lot more touchdowns and 20-yard, 30-yard bombs from Matthew Stafford. Do you think that's a potential that could happen, that we could do the bigger pass and gain a lot more touchdowns from those yards?
Yeah, that definitely can happen, and I'm going to be happy to see that again. It felt like with Jim Bob Cooter, we really struggled at finishing drives that time, and you just have to give Stafford the opportunity to let it go. He's a really good quarterback. I feel like at times we just didn't give him that chance. We kind of like paced ourselves, but I would love to see that open back up.
Oh man, I can't wait. We had Tony Scheffler back in the day, and he'd be getting all those touchdowns as a tight end. And I think of Tony Scheffler, I think of Jesse James, and when I think of T.J. Hawkinson, I definitely don't think of Eric Ebron because that dude couldn't catch a ball for nothing. But I think these guys are going to open it up, and we're going to see Matthew Stafford get a lot of touchdowns this year. And instead of getting field goals, we love Matt Prater, but we want to see some touchdowns for sure.
For sure.
James Willis says, I love Dion. Dr. Durst says, I love all Detroit YouTubers. Absolutely, man. No Miss J with the smiles. TJ at fullback, James at Nada at tight ends in the big set. I could see that. I definitely could see that, Boo. I believe, again, they're going to utilize TJ to the fullest extent to every ability that he can use. When Darrell Bevell, after he got the tight ends, he did an interview, and I swear he was foaming at the mouth just looking at what he's going to bring up with these guys. I think he could do that. I think we're going to see some stuff that we haven't seen in the NFL for a while. Again, Darrell Bevell had the whole offseason off to come up with some spectacular plays. Let's see here. Luke G says, Mike TJ combo on Killer Instinct, not Mortal Kombat. TJ combo. Okay. What up, though? Melvin, Boo. I would even be okay with James and TJ rotating. I would be okay with it, but I definitely see them being out on the field a lot this year. And of course, there's going to be different situations for different play calls. Again, TJ Hawkinson is a really, really good pusher of the pile. I can see him on the field a lot, especially in the run game. And Jesse James has got really soft hands. I can see him being on the field more for passing downs. What do you think? Do you think that's a chance that they rotate, or they're going to be on the field a lot at the same time?
They may rotate a little bit. I would like to see them on the field at the same time because they both bring their own unique strengths to the team, which would be nice to have on the field at the same time. And I think another guy that, we kind of forget about is Logan Thomas. And I've heard he's been playing pretty well. I'm excited to see what Logan Thomas can do. He's kind of getting like a new, fresh start with the Lions. So I want to see what he can do at tight end position.
Oh, absolutely. Give him a chance and see how this bad boy plays out. It would be nice to see if Logan Thomas could take that next step, because you hear a lot of people talk about when quarterbacks, they transition to another position like wide receiver and or this case tight end. They got soft hands. They know the routes well, and sometimes it really, really works out well. So if we can even get him in there, oh my gosh, just that tight end room is going to be sick.
Oh,
Lone
yeah.
Wolf, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, yeah. You got it.
Lone Wolf says, so if Stafford is overrated, what happens to Lions season if Stafford gets injured? Man, if Stafford goes out for a period of time, oh my God, I think the odds of us winning games dramatically drops. I think man, we cannot have Savage in there. What do you think of Savage, and what do you think if Stafford gets injured?
Well, right now I'm not going with it. That doesn't happen. I don't even want to think about that. Honestly, if Savage came in, I'd be worried. I'd be kind of confident because we could still run the ball. Like, I'm confident that running game can really take over. And Savage seems to have some veteran experience, but it's not going to be the same push with Stafford. I really want to see Stafford be out there, especially when we have some success, because he's really never been through it either. It'd be nice for him playing through all of these games, playing injured, to really feel that success as a starting quarterback.
Absolutely. And for the first time in a long time that I can remember, all three phases, the teams are good. Now, we've seen like in 2011 where the offense was good. We've seen in 2014 where the defense was really good. But it's never been where all three phases were good. I feel like this year that if we can stay healthy, knock on wood, all three phases are going to be really good. And, man, this team's going to take off and really make some noise and make a lot of Lions fans happy.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's always been the problem, I feel like, with the Lions. They just haven't had everything at once, but they look like they're going to have it. And it's really exciting because offensively, like you said, we have a lot of new talent. Defensively, we're just going to be really good. And then even special teams, we have so many talented players. It's going to be nice.
What up, though, Jack Bain? Welcome. Blunt tried to Chris Brown in the backfield. Jeez. I love these guys here. Let's see. So when does camp start? When does the rookies reported yesterday, I believe, to camp, and I think the veterans come in in 4 or 5 days to training camp. So right now we have not heard anything. I will be at training camp a couple of days. I'll try to live stream that bad boy for everyone, and so we can get some real footage of what's taking place. And I'm super excited.
Have you been to training camp before?
Yes, I have. It's really fun.
Okay.
Last
been there
time
too.
I went, I was kind of sick. So this time, hopefully, knock on wood, I don't get sick, and maybe I can get a couple interviews with some people and talk to some players and some subscribers alike. Have you been to camp?
I have. I think it was last year. Yeah, last year I think I went. I have some nice pictures of being there. I really didn't know what to expect. I just know that it's hot outside.
Ooh, absolutely hot outside. Absolutely. And hopefully it's not going to be like today out there, because right now in Michigan it is hot and humid. Let's see. Boo says no more predictable play calling, feeding the hot hand. Is this so? Yes, no more predictable play calling. Woo! Oh my God. KFC's play calling was so predictable. It was run, pass, punt. I cannot wait for a competent offensive coordinator to throw some plays that I don't even know what's taking place.
Right, you could basically predict what they were going to do. It was like, why are we doing the same thing every drive?
Literally, it was run on first down, run on second down. 3rd and 7, we will throw it 5 yards and then punt. Oh, so exciting. I mean, that offense was terrible, man. Just completely terrible.
It was so bad.
James Willis says Bevel might even bring out the Wildcat with Carrion on the team. I think it's possible that they definitely could do a Wildcat. Especially, imagine this. You got Carrion in there. You got TJ Hawkinson, who can just blow people back. We got Ty and Agnew. Who are you going to give the ball to? I think it would be a good idea, because if you got Ty on one side and Agnew on the other, and Carrion as the Wildcat quarterback in a sense, they'll have no idea where that ball will go. I think they'll do that every once in a while. I don't think it'll be part of the offense like every week, but definitely a trick play here and there.
Yeah, that could be a nice thing for like near the goal line, or if it's a 2-point try, you could definitely bring something out like that.
James Willis says Savage could lead us to a division championship. Yeah, that is definitely funny. Doctor, I forgot they shut you down. He says, "Oh, you guys are silly. If Matthew gets injured, we still play. Duh, no effect." Yeah, absolutely. If Stafford gets injured, he'll definitely still be on the field, though. Man, the dude plays with a broken back. His wife's got a tumor, and he still plays. He's still on there. Jack Bain says Savage can run this offense. Yeah, I'm sure he can run the offense, but our odds of winning the game would dramatically drop, in my opinion. I think Stafford is the one player I feel like we cannot get injured. I feel like there's other players that we have depth at, but the drop-off from Stafford to Savage is so immense, it would definitely hurt us.
Yeah, that's one guy that has to be healthy. Everything else we have options, but that would really hurt the season for sure.
Noble Sports is laughing at me because he says it's 115 degrees in Arizona. Drink some water, young man. Lone Wolf says Jack Bain, same here. I can't wait for the Smash Mouth football in Detroit. This is what I've been so excited about this whole offseason, is the Smash Mouth football. That is how you win games. It's still essential. You play good defense and you just smash folks in the mouth. Defenses get tired. They don't want to deal with it, and you got a bowling ball like C.J. Anderson, who is the complement to Kerryon Johnson and Zach Zenner. Home, I feel like we're going to smash people in the mouth, and we're going to take over games.
Yeah, it's going to be super fun to watch. It's going to be nice. It's going to be nice to see that for a change.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I like the finesse offense. I like seeing big points, but I prefer the smash mouth 12-play, 7-minute drive that just wins you the game and tires out the defense. Because when it's cold out, no one wants to get hit when it's frozen tundra outside, and you got this bowling ball of a back hitting you every single time, and it really gives our odds of winning dramatically grows, in my opinion. And just like Lone Wolf says, run the ball, stop the run equals victory. I agree.
Yeah, that's where it boils down to.
James Will says, well, remember the new targeting rules could change the way guys tackled? Absolutely. And, oh, man, these rules, it drives me nuts because it does give the offense, it seems, more advantage than the defense, and I do like that smash mouth type. I feel like the league is starting to get away from that. Look, I get it due to concussions and other things, but I still like to see smash mouth football. Chris Cashball says it's 115 degrees in Michigan, but we got 100% of humidity. All of Michigan going to Arizona to cool off. That's funny. That is very funny. Will Harris could get targeting calls. Will Harris. Do you think that, like me, one of my favorite players on the Lions is Quandre Diggs, and the reason I like him is because he just hits people hard. Do you think that these targeting plays is going to affect players like Quandre Diggs, or do you think he just don't care and he's still going to play like me?
I think Quandre Diggs is going to play off his mind still, and I think that's something that Matt Patricia does very well, like really teaching technique. So I think he'll be hitting hard, but he'll also like stay away. Like he might get one here and there, but it's not going to be constant.
Absolutely, man. I think you got to play smart and you got to play hard and you got to play fierce. If you do all that, I think you won't get targeting calls. I don't think you'll get a bunch of flags. I think Matt Patricia understands this, and he teaches these guys the philosophies right and brings out the best in the players. And hopefully we don't get that much flags this year because, again, that getting all those flags, it really does hurt us. We all know that as Lions fans, as Lions team, we tend to beat each other up, man, and we could win games that we should win, but we hurt ourselves. So hopefully that doesn't occur. We get less flags, and the guys still pound. I still want to see that pounding. I still want to see Quandre Diggs hit a wide receiver so hard that they don't forget it at all.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Quandre Diggs is fun to watch. He's definitely one of my favorite players, too.
Lone Wolf says, will the NFL go to 18-game season? What is your thoughts? My thoughts on 18-game season is do not water down the product. What right now is working, 16 games. What I like about the NFL is every game counts. Every single game counts. It's a big deal. You get 16 games, and you got to make every play count for those games. If they keep adding games, I feel like the product gets watered down, and it means a little less. It reminds me of like baseball, watching the Tigers, they play like 180 games, and I swear it's like, who cares if you lose one here and there? Or when it comes to the football, it's a big deal. You lose a game, it's a big deal. You win a game, it's a big deal. What are your thoughts on the 18-game season?
I don't think they'll move it to the 18-game season. I wouldn't move it to the 18-game season for reasons that you just said. It kind of stinks at some ways because, you get those years where teams will get in the playoffs with like 7 wins because they win their division because it's so bad. But really, 18 games wouldn't really change that. I think the only thing that I could see maybe them doing is maybe a play-in game to the playoffs. But then again, that would be kind of hard to set up. And really, the only reason I'm saying that is because we've been on the outside so many times. It's like, dang, if we could have just played in, play a game to get into the playoffs, that'd been nice. But I think it's fine how it is. We just need to start winning.
Absolutely, just get those wins and make them count. And that's how you make the product better. Just don't keep adding games, folks. Please don't do that. Let's see. Jack Bain says Detroit is becoming a road team. I agree. Again, strong defense, run the football, that wins games, and that's going to win games on the road. Well, knowing the Lions, targeting calls will come on critical points of the game. Yeah, we know what the refs like. If I ever get a scrap if I ever get a scrap, I'll give me Diggs. Yeah, Diggs, man, he's a scrapper, man. I love I just like Diggs because he hits you so hard, literally so hard. He reminds me of Ndamukong Suh, where teams feared Suh. They feared his pain. Quandre Diggs, I feel, can do that.
Oh, man, Suh was so awesome when he was back with us. Now he's just, I don't know. I just don't see the same Suh anymore. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because he's not in Detroit. But when he was here, yeah, very similar to Quandre Diggs. Those were guys that they're just fun to watch because they're going to hit somebody really hard. Suh would step on people. That wasn't part of the game, but it was just the aggressiveness that they came out with was awesome.
James Willis, when it comes to the 18-game season, he's like, I don't like the injury risk that it is higher. I agree with you, man. I think – and if you put more games in there, you're risking your starters to get injured more, and then you're taking your starters off the field, and you're putting a lot of more backups in, and then you're watering down the talent. No one wants to see watered down talent. We come to watch Matthew Stafford. We come to watch Kenny Galladay, Davis, Kerryon Johnson. If you get more games, the chances are they're going to get nicked up more, and you're not going to see them on the field. Why watch a game with Savage at quarterback? and some bum on another team as a quarterback. It's just not fun, man. You want to see Stafford, you want to see Mahomes, you want to see Stafford, Tom Brady. This is what the fans want to see. They don't want to see nothing else.
Yeah, I agree. And other sports can do it because there's not the the same physical kind of contact. But with football, it's fine how it is.
James Willis says, although fights on the field would be cool, that is always fun. Sue got paid. That's why he don't be the same Sue anymore. That's very possible. He decided, hey, I got paid. I can go ahead and turn it down a notch. I think also he's getting older. And I don't know, man. I always had a feeling for Sue, at least when he got out of Detroit, it was all about money. It was all about his future, and which is fine. But I don't know if the love of the game was his number one issue, especially after he left Detroit. I think the game, maybe he didn't believe it to be the same anymore. I don't know. I think he kind of turned it down a little bit. Let's see. Sue was getting cut all the time after all these years. This stuff adds up. It does. Anyone think the NHL players don't get beat up? Just are delusional. Yes, NHL players do get beat up. They do get hurt and they lose a lot of teeth. That is for sure. I want to talk about an interesting thing when it comes to training camp. One of the battles that I'm really looking forward to is the offensive line. And what do you think of Wiggins? I think Wiggins, if he is a starter for us, we are in a lot of trouble. I think Wiggins is a very weak offensive lineman. And I'm hoping a Joe Dahl, a Bo Benchwa, a Terrell Crosby can take that spot. What do you think if Wiggins is our starter, and what would our offensive line look like if that's the case?
Well, we have a lot of options. That's definitely that probably will be maybe the best competition throughout training camp. If he starts, man, I think he's going to play really hard knowing that he's with Patricia. But at the same time, I just want the best player out there. And like you say, there's a lot of options. I mean, we have tons of guys that we brought in. So I think with that pressure being there, he's going to have to play really well. And I think that's kind of what they did bringing all these guys. They put pressure behind him. Like, you got to play well, you got to play hard, or we can just replace you really quick. But again, Joe Dahl, like you said, that guy's a monster. So that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it would be nice because he really bulked up this offseason and got a lot bigger. My buddy at 313 JMO, he did a video on it. And just to see how these players that are on the bubble, they're like, holy smokes, man, we got replacements here. Just like Tease Tabor, he really found out this offseason that he's expendable because we got Amani, we got Coleman, and we got rid of Lawson. And he's thinking, oh, my God, I really got a producer. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And he's been putting in the work the offseason, playing with Cheto Chosico. The fire is lit under him right now. He's got to play really well. This is like the way I say it, make or break season for sure for Tease Tabor.
Absolutely. I think that's going to be an interesting battle to watch as well, is Tease Tabor and Mike Ford. I think that's going to be the individual who makes the team. It's going to be one of those two. Before the OTAs occurred, I said there's no way Tabor makes the team. I thought he was done. I thought there's just no way. The guy has been a bust. But however, he's really changed his attitude, and he decided to put in the work and try to make the team, do whatever he can. And I think he does make the team. I think he performs well. Do you think that Tabor makes the team, or do you think he does not make the team?
I'm really rooting for Tabor. I mean, Michael Ford came in and he did his thing. I'm rooting for Tabor. I think he has potential. I think he's going to make the team. And maybe that's just because I'm hoping that he lives up to what he's been kind of showing us. But I mean, it's really anybody's guess. There's so many options out there. It's gonna be tough. I would say I kind of hope he makes the team because I really want to see him make that turnaround. He's been putting in the work, and it's kind of tough to be a second round pick, and you're like, this guy's like he's just that bad. So I hope he figures it out, but we'll have to wait and see.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I just like the approach he took because he used to have an ego, and which is always fine. But when you don't perform well and you have an ego, it really looks bad. And he really threw that at the door. And to me, that just shows character. I really, truly hope he can make the team. I do like Mike Ford a lot. I truly, truly like Mike Ford. What he did last year, a rookie who was not drafted comes and joins the team and perform fairly well for the position he was put in. And best man wins. I kind of do hope Tabor does. But if Mike Ford wins it, I'm pleased with Mike Ford as well. I think he's a really good player. He performed well under pressure. And for the secondary that we got to have we got Coleman, we got Amani, with Darius Slay, I do think he comes to camp, and we're going to have Tabor or Mike Ford in there as well. Sky is the limit for this secondary. Sky is the limit. I think the secondary could be so good this year, and they're going to get a lot of turnovers and make the NFL really look at this and say, wow, what is Detroit built here? Is this the Legion of Boom 2.0?
Yeah, that defensive line should definitely help too. I mean, whenever you have a secondary that struggles at times, when you can get pressure, like hopefully they can bring in all these pieces. I think, part of signing Trey Flowers, that huge deal, wasn't just to help out the defensive line. You look at the secondary. Let's help out the secondary a little bit, getting this pressure. You won't have to cover as long. It's going to be really nice. So like you said, they definitely have potential to do a lot of good things.
Andre, what up, Doe? He says, I've become a much bigger fan of Tabor after the article about him and the speech he gave to his inner city kids. Absolutely, man. People make mistakes, and when you see someone just turn around like that, it's hard not to root for someone like that. I absolutely love it as well. I want to see our city rewarded. Absolutely, Jack Bain. Detroit has been through a lot. The fan base has been through a lot. The state of Michigan has been through a lot. I mean, Detroit is literally the backbone of the United States. Without Ford, without the motor breaking out in Detroit in the 30s, literally the United States would not be a powerhouse in the industry like it is today. And Detroit deserves it. Everyone that lives there deserves it. The fans deserve it. And I really want to see a championship. I truly do. I want to see this narrative end about Detroit and the people of Detroit. And I feel if the Lions can bring us a Super Bowl, that stuff can really, really end.
That would be just so amazing to win the Super Bowl. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to sleep at all.
I tell you what, Detroit would be on fire if we win a Super Bowl. I think people would be going crazy. I'd be crying. I've been a fan for so long. I just want to see them hold that Lombardi trophy up.
Yeah, I know. It would just be so crazy. I mean, even winning a playoff game, I would be losing it. To imagine winning the Super Bowl, that's probably all I would talk about with people. It probably annoys some people. That'd be just so awesome.
James Willis says Detroit built tanks in World War II. Absolutely. They were the machine that really Detroit has done a lot for this country, and I want to see it. I want to see it go to the next level. We are the North. We will win. In my opinion, we win the NFC North this year. We go 11-5. We win the NFC North. Lone Wolf says, Don Burt, good question. Lions have a good chance, but I think the Vikings will be favorites to win the North. I still think the Bears could take a step back. I think I could care less what the mainstream media favors to win the North. I really believe that the Detroit Lions are going to win the NFC North. Again, with the depth that we put on this team is superior. I believe the Bears do take a step back because they were 12-4 last year. I just don't think they can repeat that. The Vikings, I think they're a 9-win team, and I think the Packers take a real step back. What do you think, man? How do you think this division is going to play out?
Well, I definitely think the Lions will win the NFC North. I'm very confident about that. The Packers, they haven't been good in a couple of years. I think they're going to kind of stay where they are. I feel like the Packers get like a lot of credit for doing nothing. I don't know why. It's just like, the Packers might win the division. It's like they haven't done anything. The Vikings, I don't believe in Kirk Cousins, so I can see around 9 wins, 8 wins, something like that, mediocre. And the Bears are really the team that's kind of scary, I guess you could say. But I think it's all going to come down to what Trubisky could do, and I would take Stafford over Trubisky any day.
Oh, man, you hit the nail on the head. That's such a great point. We talk about this a lot is the Bears defense is really good, but the reason why they're not going to take that next step is Trubisky. Now, I did a video about the variables surrounding the quarterback position in the NFC North. The Lions had literally nearly the worst in every category when it comes to protection, quarterback hurries, hits, etc. But the Bears, they were first in nearly every category, and yet ranking the quarterback, Matthew Stafford was 16 and Trubisky was 23. He had every variable net positive and still was terrible. I think, and they won't be able to take that next step because of Trubisky. I think he holds them back.
Yeah, well, I definitely hope so. I mean, I didn't hate Trubisky when he came out. Like, I was like, he might be okay. But no, I would definitely take Stafford over Trubisky easily.
Oh, absolutely. Jake Bain says a secondary is solid. Absolutely, man. I think secondary could really make people understand like what happened in Detroit because I feel like they're not being talked about as much as they should. I'm not sure why. I think there's a lot of talent there. Chris says, I'm saying Rodgers missing at least 5 games. Yeah, when it comes to the Packers, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to get – he has been hurt the last couple of seasons. He's getting older, and I just don't think he can last 16 games anymore. He's always breaking something. He's always hurt. And when they lose Stafford – when they lose Aaron Rodgers on their team just – they can't win a game for nothing.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers seems to get hurt almost every game. I don't know what's wrong with Aaron Rodgers. I feel like he's that kind of guy that can't last till the end of the season. It's early in the season, it's all good, but once it comes down near the end of the season, he just seems to get hurt, and he's got a lot on his shoulders. Like I don't know. I don't think they put a lot around him, at least offensively, to really help him out even this year.
Absolutely. That was weird. I was really expecting in the draft they were going to start throwing a lot of weapons around Aaron Rodgers, and then they didn't. And I was like, what is going on? This is like the greatest draft ever. I felt like the Lions are doing great. The Packers just threw darts in the air. And obviously the Chicago Bears didn't even have a pick till the 3rd round. This was a great draft, man.
I think the Vikings did solid. I think we killed it. But the Bears, not the Bears, the Packers, yeah, offensively, I don't know why they didn't bring in like any help. It's like they didn't even draft wide receiver. I was like, that's a problem. You have Aaron Rodgers when you want to surround him. So I don't know what they're doing over there in Green Bay, but I'm okay with it.
Hey, it's nice to have Green Bay in dysfunction so many years. They've always talked about the Lions, and it's finally the time for the Green Bay Packers to have dysfunction and injuries and every bad luck possibly that can go their way. Lone Wolf says, Jack Bain, I agree again. Lions offense has to prove they can control the clock and protect Stafford. I think that is key. Again, long sustained drives, control the clock, 12 play, 7-minute drives, and just wear a defense out. And if they can consistently do that, they're going to win a lot of games. That is how you win in the NFL. Really. I mean, literally, you can have the greatest offense in the world, but if you don't do long sustained drives and you don't have a good defense, you're not going to win a championship.
Yeah, and that kind of play can beat anybody too. Like you said, like the Chiefs, the Chargers, those high scoring teams. You play like that, like they don't want to play teams like that. They want to play teams that are trying to match what they're doing. So for us to kind of just play the opposite, almost like the Patriots did, I mean that's going to be really tough for a lot of teams to handle. It's going to be really different from what a lot of the league tries to do, I think.
Absolutely. Chris says, as long as we get Packers late these next few years, I'm game all day. Hey man, I think we've beaten the Packers the last 4 games we played them. I think we sweep them again this year. We play in Green Bay early. It's not going to be cold, and they play us later in the season at Ford Field. We have a favorable schedule when it comes to the Green Bay, as well as the Chicago Bears. It's not cold when we go to Chicago. I think we got a favorable schedule. I think we are going to give the people's elbow to the Packers via boo and give the people's elbow to the rest of the NFC North. I don't think we get swept. I think we sweep the Packers. I think we win one against the Bears, and we win one against the Vikings, and we win the NFC North at 11-5. That's kind of what I'm going with.
That sounds good to me, man.
Let's see. Also, I think all players need to take a shot of tequila and Budweiser before every game. That would be a good idea, unless you're trying to. We do not want that to happen and get our guys too drunk. Thus, they really start screwing up, and Stafford throws like 10 picks because he has no idea where he's throwing it to. Now, we can get the other team drunk. That may be a good idea.
That'd be our strategy.
That is definitely. Throw our cheerleaders on their side of the ball and give them a bunch of tequila and have them pay attention to everything besides the game. Jack Bain says the Bears are only adversary this year. I would think the Vikings are going to be fairly decent too as well. I wouldn't sleep on the Vikings. I think they still got a strong defense. Their head coach is good. They got a decent offense. I don't think they're that big of a deal though, but I would not think that we're going to go ahead and sweep the Vikings. I don't see that happening.
No, sweeping the Vikings it's tough to sweep any team to beat any team twice, and the Vikings are pretty talented. So I don't know if it'll be home or away, but I mean they'll probably get us one time.
Yeah, and folks, I wouldn't be upset if that occurs and say the Lions are terrible. This is the NFL. You're not going to win every single game in the NFL. I mean, not even the Patriots did it. They lost the Super Bowl even though they went 16-0. it's the NFL. It's a very parity sport. And yeah, we could lose at our house and win at theirs. It's crazy because we win a lot at their stadium, and it's just weird how the NFC North rolls like that. George Morgan says we go 5-2 in the division. I think that's possible. We could definitely go. Well, actually, I think it would be 5-2. Let's see. I don't know, man. We'll see. I think we could beat the Packers twice. We beat Chicago once, and we beat the Minnesota Vikings once. So I think 4-2 is more better than 5-2, unless another team enters the division. Do not underestimate Trubisky. I don't underestimate him. I don't estimate him at all. I just don't think he's that great. I think he's good as a runner. He can really get out of the pocket and move. He's very fast and agile. But again, I just think Matthew Stafford's a better quarterback than he is. And I think if game's on the line and it's fourth quarter, we got 2 minutes to go. And if you have a quarterback, who you taking? I'm taking Matthew Stafford over Trubisky any day.
I mean, I'd almost take Stafford over any quarterback. Stafford's that guy. Like he's just so clutch. I mean, you're almost like sometimes more confident when he's out there and you're down than when the defense is on the field and you're up by a little bit, because like I'd rather have Stafford with the ball because he'll probably go win it. I'm kind of worried our defense will make a big mistake.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen Stafford do these crazy comebacks before, and with 2 minutes on the clock, it's like, I'll just bomb it 30 yards, and the next one 40 yards, touchdown, win the game. How did you do that? I've never seen anything like that before, and I definitely would take Stafford as well, man. He's clutch, man. He's clutch, especially with the game on the line.
Oh, man.
Let's see. I followed this dude. He's really good, Jack Bain. Lone Wolf, he is laughing his A off. 4-2, because I think we were talking about 5-2. It's not real. Playoffs first round is Chicago.
That would be interesting. Chicago coming to Detroit for a playoff game.
Ooh,
awesome. That would be fun to beat them at Ford Field on a playoff game. I would love that, absolutely.
Trubisky is excellent supporting cast. He does have a good cast around him. I can give them credit for that for sure. He does have a strong arm. Our tight ends will be the difference on offense, and I agree. I think that's why I wanted TJ Hockenson so bad. And when we got Jesse James, I said, hey folks, we're still getting TJ Hockenson. In my opinion, I feel like it's the pick we got to get, because having these tight ends on offense will dramatically change it. It'll remind of Gronkowski and Hernandez, when that offense just exploded when they had two quality tight ends that could really change the dynamics on offense. I cannot stress enough how I feel this offense is going to explode this year, just getting TJ Hockenson and Jesse James. Can you tell the folks how you believe this offense is going to just simply explode?
Yeah, I think they're going to explode as one of the best time of possession type of offenses, and it should be a lot better. Like, I mean, the predictability hopefully isn't there, and that's going to be huge. All of our tight ends are going to be really nice in the run and passing game. We have all the pieces you really need. We have the good wide receivers on the outside. We have a guy you can throw it up to. We have the slot. We have the tight ends. We have the running backs, and hopefully an offensive line.
Absolutely. Lone Wolf says, who is the best quarterback in the NFC North? Now, I'm going to say Matthew Stafford, and I'm going to tell you the reason why I say Matthew Stafford. I believe Aaron Rodgers, if he was healthy, he would be the best one. I just don't believe he's going to be healthy. I think he misses time. He's missed time the last couple of seasons a lot. And if you miss time, if you're not on the field, how can you be the best quarterback? I think Kirk Cousins is a decent quarterback. I just still think Matthew Stafford's much better than he is. I live in Holland, Michigan, the land of Kirk Cousins, so I know all about Kirk. And Matthew Stafford is better than Kirk Cousins. I think Trubisky is just not as good as Matthew Stafford, and he does have weapons around him, but I'll take Matthew Stafford in the clutch any day. I'll take him over Trubisky and Kirk Cousins any day. If Aaron Rodgers was healthy, I would say he would be the better quarterback. I just don't believe he's going to be healthy this year.
Yeah, I would go with Matthew Stafford as well. And with Aaron Rodgers, I don't know. The thing with the health, for sure, his age is a factor. Just recently, he hasn't been his old self. They don't have a lot of weapons around him. He's got a new coach. Trubisky doesn't really worry me. He seems like an okay quarterback, but again, he needs a lot around him. And then Cousins, I've never been a big fan of Cousins. Like I really don't think it's very competitive between Stafford and Cousins. So with that being said, I have to go with Stafford.
Absolutely, folks. I'm here again with Dose of Dion 2.0, and he is a great YouTuber in Detroit. He's a young and upcoming guy that spends a lot of time busting out video after video. His account got hacked a while ago. If you are not subscribed to Dose, make sure you do so. Please, it is Dose of Dion 2.0. He is a great young Lions fan. He's got great perspective. He's motivated and dedicated to bring everyone on YouTube the positive news of Detroit sports, and of course the Detroit Lions. It's been an hour, and before I decide to end this cast, I want to give you the last words, Dose, to the folks. What do you got to say to the people in the chat, and what you're going to do future with your account, and what do you see going forward that you'd like to tell anybody out there?
Okay, so first of all, I would just like to say thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mike. He's been very helpful. A lot of you guys been very helpful through lose my channel and then getting it back. So definitely, if you're watching this, you're not subscribed to him, you definitely should. I don't know what you're doing. But then in the future for my channel, we're looking into starting a podcast with one of my guys on Instagram, Detroit Lions Squad. I don't know how much that will come out. I'm also the videos will probably be a little bit down for maybe the next week just because of some stuff going on. But overall, a lot of the same, and we'll just keep trying to grow from there. Hopefully, I can get into more talks like this with you guys. You guys are great, and it's just nice to have someone else to talk with. You can get kind of lonely by yourself, but overall, everything's been good. Everything's been helping me out, so it's been amazing, and we'll just keep rolling until the season.
Absolutely, folks. And again, I want to say thanks to Dose for coming on here. I'm sure we will do it again. Maybe I'll go on his channel. We love talking Detroit sports, Detroit Lions. I mean, this is our passion. This is something that we absolutely love. And there is nothing like talking to you guys about the Lions and hearing what you got to say. We're going to keep it up. And again, subscribe to Dose. And hopefully when he does this podcast, he'll let me know. And I will make sure to spread the word. And so everyone could check that out and grow the YouTube community when it comes to Detroit Lions. Folks, have yourself a great weekend. Adios.